Welcome to this explainer. If you just stop and think about the intense demands of modern life for a second, it's honestly no surprise that we're all constantly seeking a little bit of relief, right? We live in an era of endless notifications, overflowing inboxes, and just nonstop demands on our time and energy. Our nervous systems are basically running a marathon every single day. So when we look for ways to decompress, we sometimes end up finding relief in the most unexpected of places. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating phenomenon that has taken the internet by storm, offering an incredibly unique escape from our high-stress world.
Okay, let's dive into this, because I know exactly what you might be thinking. From the outside looking in, roleplay ASMR can seem, well, genuinely strange. You open up your screen and there's a total stranger pretending to give you a cranial nerve exam, or meticulously measuring your face through a glowing rectangle. To the uninitiated, it looks entirely bizarre. But here is the undeniable reality. Millions upon millions of people are tuning into these exact scenarios every single night to find calm. They aren't just casually watching, they're experiencing profound relaxation. So what's actually happening here? Why do we watch strangers pretend?
Part 1. The power of pretending. It is so much more than just acting. See, we're moving into a concept that completely reframes what you're watching. We aren't watching these scenarios because we genuinely think we're getting a haircut or sitting in a doctor's office. Instead, the pretending is actually a highly effective delivery mechanism for something our modern, overworked brains desperately crave on a deep biological level. The core engine driving all of this is simulated personal attention. This is the illusion of receiving careful, non-threatening, and highly focused care from another person. Early ASMR research identified this as one of the absolute strongest triggers out there. And it works so well because it combines multiple calming signals, like soft voices, direct eye contact, and gentle focus, into one powerful package. You're getting all the psychological benefits of being cared for without any of the real-world social pressure that normally comes with it. Part 2, cues of social safety and how we are hacking the nervous system. To understand why the simulated attention works, we really have to look at our biology. Humans are deeply social creatures with social bodies. We don't just relax because the sound happens to be pleasant to the ear. Our bodies physically let go of tension when our brain receives very specific, gentle cues telling us that our immediate environment is safe. It really comes down to this. We relax when the brain decides that the environment is safe. Think about what happens in a role-play scenario. You have a calm person situated nearby, they're speaking incredibly gently, and their movements are deliberately slow and careful. Now, in human evolutionary history, those things are profound indicators of safety. When someone is moving slowly and whispering softly, your nervous system registers that there is absolutely no threat. It's a biological green light to finally lower your defenses. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we hack those safety cues using structure. Just look at the medical exam predictability loop. Have you ever wondered why clinical role plays work so incredibly well? It's because they follow a highly structured pattern. First, there's a calm greeting, then a simple question, next a gentle check or examination, and finally a clear instruction. This sequence is entirely predictable, and in psychology, predictability is the ultimate enemy of anxiety. When your brain knows exactly what's coming next, it immediately reduces uncertainty, which rapidly lowers your stress levels. Which brings us to perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this whole phenomenon: attention without demand. Think about your average high-stress Tuesday. You're constantly being asked to perform, to answer emails, to fix problems, to respond to others. It is just an endless outward flow of energy. A personal assistant or gentle spa roleplay reverses that flow completely. You do not have to perform. You don't have to reply. You simply receive calm, focused attention. For just a few minutes, you don't owe the world a single thing. Part 3, the neuroscience of ASMR. Let's look at what the research actually says about all this. We're pivoting here from psychological feelings of comfort to hard biological reality, because this phenomenon is absolutely not just in your imagination. The peer-reviewed validation over the last decade has been fascinating to watch. Back in 2015, Barratt and Davis established that personal attention was a top trigger. Then, by 2018, Poerio and her colleagues actually proved that ASMR produces measurable reductions in heart rate. It literally physically slows your body down. In 2019, researchers used brain imaging to show that ASMR activates networks involved in reward, emotion, and, crucially, social cognition. And in 2021, we saw it linked to deep sensory sensitivity and body awareness. This data proves, without a doubt, that simulated personal attention creates very real, very measurable physiological responses. Part 4, stacking sensory triggers and why roleplay is so incredibly potent. When you take those biological facts and emotional comfort factors, and then you add sensory details on top, you get an overwhelming feeling of relaxation. So the crucial point is the difference between an isolated sound and a stacked experience. A single trigger, like whispering alone or tapping alone, that can certainly work to relax you. But a role play is a stacked experience. It combines whispering, visual attention, the illusion of personal care, rhythmic repetition, and an engaging story all at the exact same time. It's this overwhelming wave of relaxation because your brain is receiving multiple signals of safety and care from every single sensory direction at once. Part 5. Finding your safe scenario and personalizing the experience. Because this experience is so layered, it's also deeply personal. What relaxes one person might not relax another. And hey, that is completely fine. I want to reassure you that if you feel discomfort with close whispering or if direct eye contact makes you uneasy, that is entirely normal. ASMR is highly subjective. It's about finding what safely softens your unique nervous system without discomfort, while remembering, of course, that it shouldn't ever replace actual mental health care. To help you safely curate your own nervous system regulation routine, here are 3 broad categories you can test out. First, care-based scenarios, like hair brushing, skincare routines, or spa treatments. These are perfect if you crave a nurturing energy. Second, structured scenarios, like eye exams, measuring, or sorting. These are ideal if predictability and logic calm your mind. And third, service scenarios, like a librarian or personal assistant. These are great if you just want someone else to take charge so you can let go of your daily demands. Explore these, see what softens your body the most. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember this core idea. The brain responds deeply to safe attention, even when that attention is simulated. Role-play ASMR doesn't work because it's fooling you into believing a fantasy. It works because it speaks the exact language your nervous system understands. In a noisy, demanding, and constantly shifting world, this rare signal of calm, predictable, safe social focus is exactly what allows your body to finally, truly rest. So I want to leave you with this to ponder as you explore your own journey with voice, movement, and story. Think about your own daily stressors and your completely unique brain. Which scenario relaxes your nervous system the fastest? Is it the clinical structure of a medical exam, the gentle nurture of a spa treatment, or maybe the demand-free zone of a personal assistant? Take the time to find out and give yourself the gift of simulated personal attention.